G'day, how you doing? Ianapolis here, your acrylic guru from Australia. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Before I get started, if it's your first time here, hit the links in the description below and check out what's in me cupboard. It's a bit of a cupboard down there. See what's in there. And also share, like and subscribe. Did they go on there? Yeah, there they are. That's the size of my canvas. I've got it on a portrait layout and I'll get some colours hooting and scooting and going upwards from the bottom to the top of the screen there for you as well. That way you can pause it and write it down if you want to paint along with this. Check the whole video out and work out, well, I don't think I can do that. Bullshit, you can do it. It just takes a bit of practice. Practice certain practice procedures, then watch the video again and paint along with it and you'll have fun. All right, so we're going to create that rainbow you saw in the opening credits there in the sky, and a bit of an ocean element down the bottom. So come on over here and let's get on to the top half first, all right? So I'm going to start with the top half of the canvas, which is the sky, or pretty much 2/3 of the canvas. So I've just got craft white here. I only put a couple of drops in there, if not I don't need anything of retarder. But I want this sky to be able to merge with the, it's just going to be like a grey overcast sky. Some creases in my canvas that got to the end of the roll. See how they turn out when the painting's finished on there. So this is going to help the paint glide across the canvas. You can see the wave I've scratched in there with my pencil, so it's going to be somewhere down there. So we'll get this all over the canvas, and now I'll just stroke it left and right so it's nice and flat, like you've just ironed your bed sheeting. Now my sky is cerulean blue. I've got a little bit of permanent alizarin there just to get that aspect of colour going in there. Can't see, my brush is in the way. There we go. Get a bit more, not too much, you don't want it going purple. And I just want to tone some of that with some grey as well, just to try and grab that overcast colour of the sky. Pretty much grey, but having some of this, the accents of this alizarin, permanent alizarin in there. There we go, that's pretty much, well, we don't want it too permanent. There we go, I think that'll do it. So I'm going to crisscross it in there and get it everywhere on that sky area. All the way down to the bottom. That's all you've got to do when you're mapping in a sky, especially if it's a big area like this. Just keep picking it up, this putter on a brush. And if you want this putter on a brush and a couple of blending brushes like I use, message me on Facebook and I'll send you some. All right, there's our pretty much overcast sky, okay? Now I will stroke it left and right again, just so it looks nice and artistically good. There we go. And if you want, you can put a darker area in there. So I've grabbed some more cerulean blue and a bit of this permanent alizarin, and let's get that, let's see if we can get a darker aspect up into the top of the sky. I think that's going to work because we don't have any grey in it. And probably just up around here where the rainbow can fade into it. So I'll crisscross that across the top quite easily. Come around and over this corner here. Pick up a bit more if you need it. There we go, look at that. Now I'm going to just wipe that brush. There we go, I've just wiped it on a tea towel there. And then we'll stroke this left and right as well. And we've got noticeably a darker area there, very minimal, but it's there in our sky. See, I didn't put retarder in it because that sky is done now and it'll take for ages to dry, and I've got to try and scratch that rainbow on there. I don't want it tearing into that paint. All right, I've given that a dry. It's reasonably good because I want to put also a bit of a crested moon up here as well. So what I've gone and done, grab yourself a bit of Italian lounge cover. You know that plastic that the Italians put on their lounges? I've had some of that laying around because I got it as a floor mat and my office chair rolls on top of it. And I've just cut some discs out of that for moon templates. and I want to create a moon. So I'm going to get some grey, just use my finger for this, and some titanium white, and we can just mix up a bit of grey white. There we go, there, like that. And I've masked that up to the top there, and I'm just going to, hopefully I can use my finger. Don't move tape, otherwise you're going to ruin my moon. And we'll try and get the aspects of just a slight hint of the moon. The paint's wearing off my finger now, which is good. Real easy. There we go, get around there. How are we going there? Oh, I think that's hopefully pretty much it. And if you want, let's hopefully, I've got a little bit of white on the tip of my finger, and we can maybe, do you want to do that? Do you want to? Just lightly. There we go. Now we can carefully, like a surgeon, take that off. So I'll get my knife under there. Oh. Simple crested moon. I just detailed, I had a blob coming off there, so I just got a detail brush and straightened it up. But normally that's what you get from your little template. Now I want to have me rainbow probably coming from here and just coming up and sort of disappearing up into the sky, okay? So I'm going to use a, just testing that paint, that's all right. I'm going to use a hog bristle flat, long handle one, and I'll try and get these, I don't want to get them crooked, I've got to try and get them straight. Now I've never painted a rainbow before, but I've looked at a few pictures and just kind of got an idea what colours are in the rainbow and sort of the order. So I've sort of got this violety colour going into the bluey turquoise. That's going into the yellow, which will create a bit of a green there. This is going into me orange. I've got red gold, and that's going to finish off with some permanent alizarin as well. So I'll just try and get some of this in me painting there. So I'm just going to get this. Now I'm going to have to wash the brush after every line. I might have to put a bit of white with that. I've got some white there. Yeah, that's a bit better. See the difference? It's not so heavy. So I need enough of that. I've just got some craft white here. And I've got me stick. I don't know. I want to sort of come from here. Now it's not going to have a big arch on it, just something about here. I don't want it too straight though, so I won't use the stick. No, like I said, I've never done a rainbow before, so we're going to give it a go with this. I'm just going to paint loose and scratch that colour up the sky. Not too heavy though, if I can help it. There, that's a bit better than scratching it. Because I want that scratchy feathered look. I don't want it nice and sharp. And let's hope this works. And you can see why I dried the sky now, because this would have been ripping right into that sky colour if I didn't. And like that. I do have a bit of primary blue, and we'll get some white into that as well. Now this paint, it's going to come onto here a little bit. Oh, I hope this works. First time trying it is of watching me do a rainbow for the first time. Get a bit more. And let it bleed into that violet colour there. There we go. Alright, now I'm going to pick up the turquoise over here and get a bit of white into that as well. The paint on the canvas is drying, but I think I've got time to get things done. I'm coming on the left side, the right side of that blue with this turquoise. I just hope this works. I should have practiced what I preach and tried a rainbow first, hey? coming a bit wider than I need to so the yellow can lapse into this. Now, the next colour is yellow. I've got cad yellow medium. And now we'll come to the edge of that turquoise. And then we can let that gradiate into that turquoise there. It'll go sort of greeny, whatever-y. There we go. Picking up the orange, just my orange colour. And we're going to come over here as well. Let me know in the comments below, is this rainbow okay, or is it just a lump of snot on my canvas? I'm not sure myself, it's the first time I've done one. I'll wipe my paint off there and I'll soften it into there. What's the next colour of the rain? Oh, the little bit of permanent alizarin. And out here, let that merge into that orange. Bit more. Bit more. Now what I might do is just beef up the colours I feel need beefing up. I do have some sky colour on me brush here. I hope I don't make a bloody mess. I'm going to try and just do this with the sky colour. Just so as it can fade. There we go. Now I've got some titanium white out the tube and I've put the cerulean blue with it just to get like a powdery blue. And whatever's in my brush, that'll be enough for all this glaze here. I want to mix this glaze now with this blue colour. And we're going to set all that back within the sky. Now I've dried the canvas, but with this stuff you don't want to keep going in the one spot too long, otherwise you'll start peeling all the stuff underneath up. So we're going to, with a bit of luck, push that down into the sky, and this will dry very translucently see-through-ish. There we go. I'm going across the way I did my brush strokes before with the sky. What's that there? A bit of a ridge onto the board underneath. And it's just lightly sinking it back. Now I'm using a soft brush here, a soft flat. There we go, just there. Now I hope this works. If it doesn't, well, I know not to do this again. But that's why it pays to watch me videos all the way through and just see, did Ian make any mistakes today? No, he didn't. Oh, yes, he did. And if I do make mistakes, I'll let you see them anyway, so you know what not to do. I'm giving here a dry, and I want to grab my putter on a brush again and some craft white so we can start on the water down below. So we'll just get this brushed into that area there. And this is going to help blend those turquoise, watery, oceany blue colours together. And now I'm just going to grab me turquoise. And I'm just going to do it turquoise first, and then I'll add the lighter and darker areas in this watercolour, okay? I'll just bomb it on there just like so. Now I've got some French ultramarine blue next to that turquoise. We're going to create our darker value of that. Try not to get it in the yellow there, Ian. I've got so many colours. That's primary blue there, I don't want that. This will make the darker colour of our ocean. So pretty much I want to get some all the way out here on the horizon. Get some more on there, get right on there. There we go. I should have taped it up so I don't have a nightmare trying to paint me water different values. I can get that there, yeah, there we go. Now we'll work out some more, get some others. Oh wow, look at that, I've picked up some yellow. Doesn't matter. I want a bit darker here, and we can add darker here. Okay, now I've got another filbert here. I'm getting some of this darker. I've given the canvas a light dry, not too much, just so as I can sit these darker colours on without them sinking in the background, because I want me wave sort of starting here, and this is going to be all the darker values of me wave. So that line, the horizon line, is behind the wave and up there in the distance. Okay, so I'm creating the top lip of this wave, which is pretty much there, and just going to scoot down like so. So that's why I dried it a little bit. It doesn't have to be 100% dry, but just so I can get this scrumbling down into our turquoise there. This will have a nice white cap on it as well. Okay, and there is a lot of distinct darker water falling up here. So I'm just, you know, those scallops that you get out in the ocean. I don't know what they're called. I reckon they've got a good proper name. They're just the, that's coming across on the painting there. So we'll get that on there. I could have done this later. I don't know why I'm doing it now, but I just am. All right, I'm going to continue. There's a bit of a dark band all the way on the horizon here that I couldn't quite get with that big brush I was using before. Tapers out there. And what's down here? Probably get some just some movement out here as well. Nice long dark areas of movement. Because see, that's the wave. It's going to come over this way, you'll see. Alright, I've got some turquoise, so I'm going to pull some over here, and I want to mix up a lighter value just for the eye of that wave. A nice glaring bright value in there. Because where's my wave? My wave's there, so I want this about here. So it's like a teardrop shape, but in that aspect there. Now I'm going to grab my scrumbler. You've all seen me use this before, and I want to scrumble that into that. Get those hard edges. See what I've just done? I just buggered those hard edges off. Don't worry about that, it's going to get covered up. There we go. Got rid of the hard edge. Just grabbed a bit more, and I'm going to make it a little bit more intense in there now. So I'm dancing it in there, ready to be scrumbled. See the way I'm doing the edge now? I'm breaking up the edge so as I can scrumble it quickly. Do a bit at a time so as it's not going to dry on you, okay? Now we've disturbed all that, grabbing that and the French ultramarine again, getting that blue colour. We had it over here but we've lost it now. So I'm just going to mix that dark colour of turquoise again. And I want to, nice and flat, get this shaped the way I want, just coming down. We've got a lot of nice dark values up in here. We've got a nice bit of a dark bit here, just over the white, or where the white's going to be. And I'm turning this to the direction of the wave as well. Get some nice dark bits coming up there. Try and make them smooth and flowy like water up there. Bit more, some more out here, because there's going to be a lot of foam in front of this, and we're going to need these darker, is it accents, is that the word, underneath it to make them pop. Now I'm grabbing this colour over here and putting some grey with it now. This is kind of the darker highlights within the water because it's a stormy, overcast day, so we want this colour in the water. And up in here now we've got a lot of grey coming up in there, all the way up into there. Follow the shape of your wave. No rush for this, just remember, take your time. This front bit, I'll detail that a bit later at the end because that's in front. But there we go there. And when we put our white, slight white highlights on here, it'll make everything come together, I hope. Leaving lengths of dark bands going through all this. And if you lose some of them, just put them back. My tape's down there. Now I've just pulled the slightest a bit of grey in there to tint it a bit more, or to highlight it a bit more, see here? Just so we can get some values hitting that curve of the wave there. Just like that, and we've got a nice elbow of it here somewhere, so to speak. So don't kill all that dark grey you put in there, but just highlighting some of it. Okay, I've grabbed this darker colour again. Now I've just got a few more of the darker bits and made it just that little bit darker. And I want to kind of sit this right in front of that with some nice long corner strokes, like I'm grabbing my white and I want it tainted now, just so as I can get the smashing white of the wave. This is what's going to bring the picture home, believe it or not. And then we can highlight this with pure white to make it pop. So we're pretty much crescent along here, down there a little bit. is all the edge of the wave, just smashing there. And all the way along here, it's coming up. Coming down from about here. This is the other end of it. And it's all cracked in there. Don't worry if it's picking up bits of blue and turquoise. You want that to happen because this has got to have depth within it. Now this here, I don't want it as a circle. I feel it's going like a circle. I've got to try and keep that as a teardrop so it looks a bit more realistic. Okay, and then we do have some white in here. Just like that, leaving a lot of that green there because this is just very light, but you want to see that darker value within it. Now we're going to froth more this agitation that's getting pulled to the shoreline there. Just on left and right, pulling strokes, dabbing it and pulling it left and right. We'll just get that to the shore there for now, and then we can detail it where it might need some darker and full-on white. But it's the same colour all the way from here. Try and keep them long. That's it, long. Some long ones in there. I'm just going to put the most thinnest bit of white up here, just to show what this is, the tippity top of that wave. Okay, just like that. And we can probably find the odd one. Maybe this is the wrong brush, just to pull some little scragglers down, but in the way of the wave. I've just got a little liner to try and control them because that brush was a bit too big. Just something pulling down from them. Now I'm going to get some more darker values in here, just so when I put the pure white on that wave, you'll be able to see what is what. Because you want that person, when they walk past this painting and go, instead of them just looking at a wave, they're going to look at it and go, oh wow, that is a really good wave. I like it. So I'm going to use this brush now just to get these. There we go. It's a bit more controlling what I can get with this little brush. If you see me using a brush and you can use something better, by all means, use what works for you. Okay. Just before I'm highlighting it, I'm just going over with this brush again, mainly probably fine, and this isn't white, but it probably looks white. Just the most finest. How's that looking? In there, you know. Some maybe along here. Touch the bloody canvas, will you? So we want a darker value we've got, what was this one here? This is that grey blue. We can use some of this. Just pick it up on your brush, squint your eyes, and I'm pretty much looking here where I want some darker values coming, where that's hitting and coming down, and the white foam that we put on after this is going to sit all this down, okay? So we're just getting some darker values within this crunching wave here. It's adding depth within the deep, thick blue water. Get up there somewhere, not too high at the top, but mainly along the, and out there as well. How's this going? This is pretty much all right. We're going to crack that up with some nice white as well. So there we go. Now I've just got myself a long round small, I don't know what it's called, a series K round, there you go. And I've just got some pure white now. I've got it on my hand there because that way I'm just reaching from here to there. It's a lot easier for the tutorial's sake. Now I want to get this on the brush like so and find our cracking white water. So it's coming from here. See this, you can get it to do all that spraying. It's coming down there a bit, but leaving some of that dark blue there. And once it's worn off your brush, like coming here a bit, you can, this corner of the wave, you always need a bit of a spray coming up into the air there, because the wind's catching the light water and turning it into spray, I hope. Yeah. Now, I'm going to start at the bottom here, get some crunching water, bush. You leave some of this blue colour and some of this dark colour, okay? This is just creating the facets of wonderful wavalizing waves in the water. So we want some of this down within the blue where it's crashing. Because this is pretty much full on thick white water. It's just smashing. It's like, no, that wasn't the right one. It's like, yeah, no, that's wrong, Eve. I can't do the right sound effect. Sorry about that. I really try, but I just can't get it. Now I want to get this part of the wave here, smashing from there into there, because I want this bit here popping from here all the way down there. Leave some of that dark colour. Is that making sense? Slowly but surely, this looks a bit dumb in here. We'll get all this done. Leave some of that dark there. Get some of this. This brush is good. And if we lose too much of that dark, well, by all means, you can just whack it back like you normally do when you're adding lights and darks together, and if some of the dark's all gone, or vice versa, you just whack it back. And then we're going to, same with this. This is all, I might use another brush for this, but we want some of this darkness there, just like that, within this froth, this agitated washing machine froth. And you can see what the dark's done. Just want to get the lightest of white dancing off this as well, here and there somewhere. Not too much, very little, because it's just ready to, and the wind's catching some of it and woofing it in the air there. Now I want to continue over here. We'll get some of this white all the way up in here as well, just lacing up the wave there. Now I'm going to go back to that script liner that I had, because I can control that with some inside white of that wave. So I'll get that on there, because just some of this, where are we? Want some of this sort of lacing up there. And some bits coming down. Right against that dark there. Now, I've done pretty much me white there, but I'm looking and I'm like, well, I want some of the darker colour, just a nice facet back here somewhere, about there, and maybe a nice big chunk, so there's a bit of an uneven flop within the what do you call it, the wave crash, a bit of an uneven flop, because I suppose waves have their flop, and every now and then they have some unevenness within the flopping. So that's all that is. These are just dark elements. Okay, we'll just finish it off now. So we're going to get the rest of the white and try and get some wave action happening. Crashing right over that dark there. It's just... Now I'm going to peel from here now and just peel this corner off into this spray up there like that. Get a nice chunk. So we got some spray going up there. Just remember, if you're not aware of it, all my tutorial paintings are available to buy, and also prints of them. So if you want to be a proud owner of one of my paintings, message me on Facebook. Message me on Facebook if you want some of the blending brushes that I use. Now I've just pulled all the paint out of that. It's a little scraggly brush, and I'm going to try and get some real whispery fine mist up here somewhere from me wave if I can. But so long as you don't do it in a straight even line, you want it kind of looking naturisingly naturistic, or naturistically-ized, like nature. There we go. Probably can have just some little spats out there as well. Yeah, and maybe just a few in here. Probably going to just put some foamy sud stuff like this here, and then I'll tone it down as well. I'm doing it lineal, just so it goes in perspective with the painting, hopefully. Just grabbing some of the grey blue colour, and see some of these big bulky broken up bits. I'm just kind of lacing in between them, killing them down a bit, and then hopefully, you know, like sitting them down. You know, when some other artists, I remember when I was watching years ago on YouTube, you got to set them down. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm setting it down in the water. That's not too bad. It's a bit weird, but it'll be all right. It's a lovely painting for a beginner to do, eh? We're going to get some more of these here. So I'll just slice them in there. And I'm probably just going to ooze a little bit of white into that mix that I've got there now. That grey blue just so you'll see, it'll soften it. Oh yeah, look at that, see? Go back over the whites there. Guess I'm just grabbing that bigger one to sit some of them there a bit too loud. I just had a look. Wasn't happy, Jan. There we go. Just easily do it just like that. Alright, I'm going to grab some of the turquoise and white just to finish this off with my signature in the bottom corner there. Nice and tiny. Check out my links in the description below. Share, like and subscribe if it's your first time here. And message me on Facebook if you want to purchase one of my tutorial paintings, or if you want to purchase some of the blending brushes and that putter on a brush you see me use in my videos. Alright, we'll whack a frame on this. It's a bit of a long one, but that's the way I wanted it. I wanted it long. I suppose it's not too bad in the frame. It's not that shabby, is it, eh? Something a beginner can learn. Rainbow over a wave, a bit of a crested moon up in the sky. And just remember, you can do that. Yeah, and it's in the frame. It doesn't look too bad. So when that guy's walking past it, he's just going to, oh yeah, it's all right, that. Bit of a wave. All right. If you like what I'm doing, be sure to tell your friends. But if you don't like what I'm doing, you make sure you tell everybody, okay? Goodbye, good luck, and good on you.